Coming to you from the sold-out arena at Grand Oasis Hotel and Resort, this is Cancun Boxing from Pepe Gomez on CBS Sports Network. This for the WBC Latin American lightweight title scheduled for 10 rounds. Francisco Rojo versus Dante Jardon.
Damas y caballeros, amables amigos, regresamos con ustedes completamente en vivo esta noche desde Cancún, Quintana Roo, México, a través de la señal de CBS Sports Network. Pepe Gómez de Cancún Boxing, promociones del pueblo. El Hotel Oasis, en la arena Oasis, así como Cabal Sport presenta a usted esta gran pelea en vivo desde Cancún, Quintana Roo, México. Su atención, por favor, en la categoría del peso ligero. Por el campeonato latinoamericano del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo, pelearán a 10 en la esquina roja, con un récord de 18 peleas ganadas, 2 perdidas y 11 victorias obtenidas por la vía del knockout, con un peso de 60 kilos con 700 gramos de la Ciudad de México, Francisco Paquito Rojo. En la esquina opuesta, en la esquina azul, su rival para este encuentro, esta pelea de campeonato, con un récord de 30 peleas ganadas, 5 perdidas y 23 victorias obtenidas por la vía del cloroformo puro. También de la Ciudad de México, pesando 60 kilos con 500 gramos. Dedicando esta noche su pelea a todo el público de Cancún, Quintana Roo, con ustedes, Dante Crazy Jardon. Se presenta a ustedes el título en juego por la Comisión de Box y Lucha Libre de Cancún, Quintana Roo. Referee para este encuentro, tercer hombre en la superficie, el señor Celestino Castro.
El centro. Bueno, jóvenes, ya ven las reglas. Cuidado con las cabezas, no las nucas ni golpes en los riñones. Choquen sus guantes y quedan mejor.
Our tale of the tape is presented by Cancun Boxing. Come for the sun, stay for the fights.
Dante Jardon has 3 years the elder, 1-inch height advantage and 2-inch reach advantage. So they were almost the same exact size. Not a major advantage in height or reach for either fighter.
Tonight's fight clock is presented by Grand Oasis Hotel and Resort Cancun. Oasis loves you. Red and white trunks for Rojo. Orange and white trunks for Jardon. Good right hand from Rojo. Counter right hand right back from Jardon.
And Rojo on the attack.
Both fighters opening up just as we thought they would. Stiff left jab from Rojo. Left to the body from Jardon on the counter. Still Rojo comes forward. Back to the center of the ring.
Rojo definitely feels that Jardon is predictable. And he says, based on his predictability, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for me to counter. If I can land the right shots and counter him, I'm going to hurt him.
Jardon ranked #1 by the WBC at lightweight. He's also the reigning WBC International Silver Lightweight Champion. With that title not on the line, at stake, the vacant WBC Latin American lightweight title. But a victory for Jardon doesn't just give him the belt, Joey, it likely gives him a world title shot at 135 pounds.
Exactly.
Victory for Rojo advances his record to 19-2 and likely gives him a career-defining win. A lot of buzz surrounding Dante Jardon, and Francisco Rojo not intimidated in the least.
And there's a lot on the line. There's a lot on the line here, and it's not just about winning, but they're both representing Mexico City. So 2 fighters representing the city. There's a lot on the line.
Rojo enters this fight in outstanding form, victorious in his last 6, 4 of which have come by way of knockout. He said, my wins have been coming from heavy pressure, and that's what I will use to defeat Dante Jardon. There was no disrespect from Rojo towards Jardon, but there was no awe or intimidation either. As you see, is Rojo opening up with that right hand. Good counter from Jardon.
And Jardon respects Rojo. He says he is good on the inside, but my job is to keep him on the outside where I'm powerful, where he can use that right there, and that's the weapon he talked about, is that right hand. He said he's strong with the right, the straight right, the overhand right, or the right to the body.
Scheduled for 10 final seconds of a very entertaining round number 1. This has all of the ingredients to be a very entertaining fight. Round number 2. Joey, I think round number 1 indicative of what we're going to see in this title fight. Two very aggressive, very accomplished fighters. Both talked about staying in the mid-range and opening up with their punches.
Look at the way Jardon's kind of cheating his right palm open a little bit. Almost as if he's waiting for that left to come so he can parry it and come over the top with his power right.
Right hand from Jardon not getting through.
In our fighter meeting yesterday, Jardon's nickname is Crazy, and I asked him, why is his nickname Crazy? And he looked at me, and when I looked into his eyes, I understood it, and he said, because I'm crazy. I said, okay, point taken, I understand that now.
Jardon might see himself as such, but he doesn't implement a crazy style. It's controlled aggression.
He's intelligent. He's working behind a jab. He's creating openings. They both are, actually. They're both fighting very intelligent. You see when Jardon does come in, Rojo covers up and looks to counter off that. He's got his eyes open. He's watching where the openings are.
Rojo ever so slightly trying to cut the angles. Jardon fighting a lot of this round off of his back foot. Two punches from Rojo, Jardon circling out. Without question, you can win a round and win quite dominantly and effectively off of your back foot. But Jardon's the fighter that wants to come forward.
But you know why he's being effective backing up is because he's backing up with that jab. And so Rojo hasn't figured out how to close the distance to get past that jab to land him. That jab keeps him at bay. That jab allows Jardon to move around to do what he wants to do. Right now, when the punches are coming straight down the pipes, Rojo's main defense is just to cover up. But there's not a lot of side-to-side head movement where he's going to slip to the outside and come up with something.
Slight swelling under the left eye, Francisco Rojo. He's been the busier fighter thus far. Jardon seems to be landing the bigger punches thus far. Final seconds, round number 2. That's a big right hand from Jardon. Landed legally on the side of the head. There's the bell. Next up, round number 3. Closing seconds of round number 2, referee Celestino Castro. Dante Jardon about punching late.
You good?
It's not when the punch lands, it's when the action of the punch starts. So if the action of the punch starts before the bell and it lands after the bell, it's a legal punch. Castro just telling Jardon to be aware of throwing late.
And now you're seeing the intensity building.
Did you see the 3 judges scoring cage side for this WBC Latin American lightweight title bout? See that they wear the yellow headsets. Those are noise canceling. That will be ruled as a slip, and it is. Jardon right back up. This program from the WBC, their noise canceling headsets, the theory behind it is that crowds can and corners can affect judges' scoring, so they want a completely noise-free environment.
They sway them. If a punch kind of lands, it might not look hard, but everyone in the arena goes, oh! The judge can't help but be swayed by that. That affects how he views it. So I think it's brilliant. I think it should be done in every sport, in every combat sport.
It's not just the crowds, it's the corners, how some corners will react. You think in MMA, leg kicks, ole on everyone.
Oh!
Credit to the WBC for being very innovative. Rojo, a lot of head movement coming forward.
In Jardon, to his credit, this round has definitely increased that right there, his body attack. He's been putting out that jab, he's been sitting down behind that and throwing a nice left hook to the liver.
Swing and a miss by Jardon. And again, you see a subplot of this fight. It's Rojo largely coming forward, Jardon largely fighting on his bike and off of his back foot. Jardon, though, to his credit, still being very effective in spite of the fact that he is not moving forward a lot, something he really likes to do.
And one thing Rojo's not doing is he's working so hard to get to the inside, to work his way in, but when he gets there, he's not doing a lot with it.
Rojo trying to double up on his jab. So much more head movement from Francisco Rojo than you see from Dante Jardon. Still Jardon with the lateral movement, relatively difficult target to find. Final stages now, round number 3. Which remains a very even, competitive fight.
And there we see Rojo working his way in. Once he got on the inside, though, his punches stopped, and it was Jardon that was getting off, that was landing the better punches. Rojo needs to figure out how to stay busy once he works his way on the inside.
As we enter round number 4, referee Celestino Castro telling both Rojo and Jardon, watch your head on the inside. Jardon opening with a flurry. But immediately, as we've seen through the vast majority of the opening 3 rounds, Rojo coming forward as Jardon then on cue explodes forward. But again, taking a backward step. Good counter, though, from Rojo. Then Jardon coming forward on this.
A big difference in the punching power between both fighters. Jardon with 23 knockouts out of his 30 victories. Rojo, 11 knockouts out of his 18 victories. And you can see that when Jardon sits down on his punches and starts ripping the body, we can hear it.
Nearly a clash of heads on the inside. So often, of course, Joey, in boxing, headbutts just happen. It's just the style, the angles as two fighters come in, and you're starting to see that with Jardon. He's trying to work his way in a little more effectively into the pocket and angling in with his head. Good stiff left jab from Rojo. Bit more aggression from Dante Jardon here in this round. Round number 4, scheduled for 10. At stake, the vacant WBC Latin American 135-pound belt.
And I'd love to see Jardon continuing to keep putting that pressure on the body. And there, as you mentioned earlier, Sean, we saw the headset, the judges ringside wearing the yellow headset, so the sound is blocked out. So what they see is their opinion. It's not biased. It's not. It has nothing to do with the fans.
WBC, very innovative, and that's ruled as a slip, second slip in this fight. The noise-canceling headset for the judges. They're experimenting with instant replay, with open scoring. I'm all for progress in combat sports and open-mindedness.
Absolutely.
There's Jardon opening up now after that slip. More redness on the face of Rojo. Better round for Dante Jardon. Jardon to the body and then digs that right hand to the rib cage. Castro telling Jardon, bring the punches up. Just missed with that overhand right.
And that was one of the keys to victories Jardon shared with us yesterday in the fighter meeting. He said he wants to beat that body, go downstairs to create the opening to come back upstairs and knock him out.
We are headed to the 5th round. Round number 5. Very entertaining thus far. 18-2 Francisco Rojo from Mexico City versus 30-5 Dante Jardon from Mexico City. Rojo looking for what would be a career-defining win. Jardon enters this bout ranked number 1 by the WBC, looking for a win that would likely give him a world title shot. Of course, also at stake, the WBC Latin American lightweight belt. Talked about this.
There's the jab that I've been waiting to see from Rojo. He's fired 3 or 4 this round. They're starting to land. And when he starts landing those, he's able to close a distance behind them and then go to the body.
Joey, we've talked a lot about the swelling on the face of Rojo. Jardon now major swelling under his left eye. It's part mouse, part abrasion.
The good thing, though, is that it's in a good spot. It's not above the eye. It's not in a spot that might impair his vision.
And it's not a high mouse, meaning that it's not directly under the lower lid to where it's really going to obscure the vision.
Exactly.
People outside of combat sports never understand when we talk about good cuts and good places to swell up.
Right.
But there are, most definitely.
You know, I keep on seeing glimpses from Rojo where it's like he bites down on his mouthpiece. He wants to show, like, I'm here to, like that.
Big
right there.
right-handed.
Like that is right there.
Jardon nearly through the ropes, and he is down. Celestino Castro telling
and that's it. Rojo.
He waves it off.
Comes from behind. Just as we're talking about it.
Jardon is furious. Rojo is elated in victory. Castro told Jardon come forward. When he did, Castro immediately waved off the fight. Castro clearly did not like the look in Dante Jardon's eyes. And that is indeed a career-defining win for Francisco Rojo as he defeats the fighter ranked number 1 by the WBC, Dante Jardon.
We just literally started talking about the moments when we see Rojo come alive and he brings this fight somewhere and then it fades a little bit. And right at that moment, he unleashed that right hand and just sent Jardon crumbling to the canvas. What a finish, and he's definitely not happy with the stoppage.
Jardon was in danger of actually falling through the ring ropes. You'll see it on the replay. Jardon still very, very upset, and you see the outpouring of joy from Francisco Rojo hugging Pepe Gomez. And Jardon still pleading his case. There's a look at that nasty swelling, and here is the end, Joey.
And here, let's take a look at it. Rojo pressing the action, and it was the jab, short right, and then he doubled up. He brought that overhand right a second time, and there it was. The first one kind of wobbled him. The second one put him through the ropes. Ready the jab, the short right. He rolls under, fires up with that overhand, and that's all she wrote.
Jardon not slept because you saw he had the presence of mind to reach up to the top rope with his left hand. He still had some awareness, but he was definitely rocked hard on the knockdown from Francisco Rojo. Jardon continuing to argue his case, obviously to no avail. This is in the books, and this is a victory for Francisco Rojo.
And I got to tell you, I don't know how you scored him. For me, this is a come-from-behind victory. I thought he was losing. he was losing to a guy with a better record, more experience. And this is one of those wins that propels you. Now you're not just an up-and-coming fighter. You're a fighter who's done something. He just earned himself a payday.
Jardon still arguing, Rojo still celebrating. Now 7 straight victories for Francisco Rojo with 5 knockouts over this stretch. That is a quality win. Edgar Alejandro is set. Let's go to him now.
Damas y caballeros, hermanos amigos, gracias por escucharnos, atendernos. Vamos a hacer el resultado oficial de este encuentro a través de la señal de CBS Sport Network, en vivo para todo Estados Unidos y el mundo desde Cancún, Quintana Roo, México. El vencedor de esta pelea por nocaut técnico a los 2 minutos con 7 segundos del quinto round y por lo tanto, nuevo campeón latinoamericano, Francisco Paquito Rojo.
You like this?
A phenomenal victory for Francisco Rojo. And with that win, he claims his first ever belt as a pro. He now proudly wears the WBC Latin American Lightweight Championship. Francisco Rojo defeats Dante Jardon.